Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing the bi-weekly astrology. Hopefully you can hear me alright over the air. It's a lot cooler this morning, but I still need to be able to breathe. My clock is a little bit lopsided because of the space on my table and the size of the cards. But we're gonna pretend anyway. So each pile has 3 cards, and then I have a card for each stack in the middle. We're still in Cancer, so I'm going to start with Cancer and then we'll go processionally backwards. For the Oracle, I'm using my phrase deck that I made. And for the fire signs, I'm using the Thoth deck. For the air signs, I'm using the Syrian Starseed Tarot. For water signs, I'm using this Radley Valentine Angel Tarot deck. And for the earth signs, I'm using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. So we're going to start with Cancer. And I'm going to go ahead and get that. I've got it focused to about here, so I'll probably hold the cards up as I get into this. Right. So Cancer, and we've got a water sign. I don't have the camera right in front of me today, so it's a little bit harder to see. Debating. Yeah, I think I am going to move the camera. Now that I've got the spread shown there, I can do these each individually. I'm going to move the camera. Hold on to your butts. Okay. Good Cancer. My tripod leg is in the way. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so Cancer. A water sign ruled by the moon. So this is the Dreamer. This is the Fool in this deck. We're referencing Archangel Metatron, which has to do with the formation of the universe and the geometry that we live in. The energy and feedback. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Okay. This is also Uranus, planet Uranus, which is associated with Aquarius, with that innovation. King of Earth, inverted. Okay. So because he's inverted, I'm not going to read it. But it ends up being sort of we have an imbalance, we have a refusal to deal with growth and maturity, we're not attached to the higher self, it's essentially sloppy tyranny in that sense. King of Pentacles, Aries and Taurus with air of earth. Okay. So this lack of grounding, focusing on hedonism, being very combative instead of observant. 4 of air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Okay. So I feel like this sequence should go this way. Sort of like a countdown to launch. So the Four of Airs is it can be the day after the Three of Swords, and it can also be a 13. The energy for Four of Air, Jupiter in Libra. All right, so that Taurian energy is related to Venus, and Venus rules Libra as well, the Empress. And then the Jupiter energy brings in Sagittarian energy, which is answering the Aries energy here. It's saying, you know, stop, this is like, it's better to burn out than to fade away. And here it's like, no, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You need to sit down and take a minute and redirect your energy. Archangel Metatron is coming in saying you need to restructure your world. So this is, I see it as a countdown twice, because this can be a 1 or a 14. It would break down to 5. So it's like 5, 4, and then it's like we just skipped 3, 2, 1, and now we're at 0. Or it could be 14 and then 13, and then another 0 point. And I see it as kind of like a world collapse. It's like being pushed through a bottleneck or sucked through a wormhole. Let's see what this advice card is off the pile here. I'm just taking them off of the top. Sacrifices, paying of karmic debt with Neptune energy. So Neptune rules Pisces, which is the sister sign of Cancer. But Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Pisces rules the Cancer card. So it's and then we have 9 and 9, right? The number is here 99. That's 18. That's the moon. So this reflective cycle is forcing this king to go inward. You don't get to lollygag. You're being forced through the bottleneck of your own karmic debt. You're not being allowed to waste any more time. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. It could be for someone you're dealing with or something that's going on with you. It doesn't have to be a male person just because it's the king. So let's go to Gemini. An air sign ruled by Mercury. Three of Flames, the Sun in Aries, Zero, Starseed inverted. This is the Fool card in this deck. Cancer also got the Fool card. And then we have Adept of Orbs. So this is the Knight of Swords. It's interesting because they have this guy here and he's sort of daydreaming on a rock. He's creating this kind of magic or portal, a vision of riding in somewhere. I feel like this goes in this order. Okay, so this is Uranus energy or Aquarius. And Uranus is retrograde right now, and I think that's why that card is inverted. The Adept of Orbs here, the Knight of Swords, Taurus and Gemini energy with Fire of Air. And then the Three of Flames was the Sun in Aries. It seems The energies are similar to Cancer, but the message is, I feel, is different. Okay. So we have 0, and then we have 1 or 12, and then we have a 3. There's some kind of transformative cycle here, but there's no real death moment, because there's a possible 1 and 3, 13, or possible 4. 4 of Swords, reflective, 4 of Flames, foundation. This is looking towards the future. It's a balance. It's sort of illumination of where growth is heading. And the Knight of Swords here, he's essentially forming, he's like rehearsing the message that he's going to bring. The 12 number indicates awakening. This inverted starseed card, the Fool inverted, it's like, I don't want to go yet. I'm not ready to launch. Here, it's like, I'm okay to go. And then this is more of a heading for the light kind of an essence. You see what this message is. It's coming in reverse. It says, you know more than you let on, or you know more than they do. Number 403. So we have a 0 here, and then I have 3, and then I have 4. So I see the Fool, I see the Emperor and the Empress, and I see the Wheel. I also see 12 again. So I feel like this knight here is wondering if he bothers to go out and bring a message, or is it going to be worth it? Because if he brings the message, is somebody already going to know what he's bringing? Like, why did I bother coming if you already heard the news? And there's also this idea that the potential could be, you know more than you let on, right? You don't have confidence in your ability to do something, or you don't have confidence in the universe. You don't know if you're going to be backed up. But this card indicates that the future is kind of becoming in all right. There's going to be movement. But the general essence is, you know more than you let on, or you know more than someone else does. But it's like, what aren't you expressing? Is you're waiting for someone else to... You're not opening up. You're not taking the leap of faith and interacting with somebody. You're waiting for them to give you all the information first, so you know how much you can get away with actually saying. It's like, the only thing that's like off here is that this leap card is inverted, and the sort of, this card is actually giving 7 of Swords energy, trying to be sneaky, the Moon in Aquarius, which would be in here. So there's an obscurity in the innovation of thought and communication. But I also see 12 and 3 here, which would be 15, which would be Devil energy. So there's some kind of binding, and it feels sort of karmic or inner child trauma related. It's kind of like bluffing. But if you're dreaming of manifesting communication and action, then it's kind of time to upgrade the energy. If you balance yourself, you open up your future. It kind of looks like these are the same fields. Like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. You need to, like, speak up. It's not put up or shut up, but it's a little bit like that. Alright, let me get to the next one. So we have Taurus. We have Earth energy ruled by Venus. The Knight of Wands inverted. I'm going to just hold that up again. So there's the Knight of Wands. Inverted, burning the whole goddamn forest down. Ten of Wands. I get like a backdraft energy. Blowback, backdraft. And then the Three of Cups inverted. Alright, so Taurus appears to be going through it. Right away I see 12 and I see 13. So there is a progression. Trying to come in with some transition. I see 12 here, which could break down to 3. So there's this idea that there's some kind of balance even in this period. This is also the Hanged Man in that position, which would be water energy, which we see here. Three of Cups. Oh, this would be Neptune if in water as the Hanged Man. Three of Cups. Mercury in Cancer. But it's inverted. Right. It's like the party got out of hand and somebody burned down part of the house. This isn't fun anymore in the middle. But there's also this completion of something, is 10 is that complete number. It's sort of like crash and burn, but there is an ability to rise from the ashes. There's an opportunity. But I feel like Taurus is kind of caught up in the aftermath and they're not quite sure where to go. There's also a Tower moment here, which is clearly burned down. So let me see what this advice card says. They've been asked to cooperate with you. Number 929. Alright, so I have like an 1111 here, which could be twin flame or timing, but I also see a balance here. 3, 10, 3, 9, 2, 9. Right, so there's like exponents here. 3 squared, 9, and then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So there's a shift, there's a pivot. But it's like the party got out of hand and people started fighting with each other, and it ended up with broken glasses and flames. Shot down in flames. But I also have 18 on here, which is moon energy, and the High Priestess, which goes back to that Piscean Hanged Man energy with Neptune. And then the moon Cancer. But we also have 20 Judgment, which is Pluto energy, which is fire. Pluto rules the Scorpio, which is the death card, which is where that 13 comes in. Alright. So the idea is, who's they? Like, who are they? And what has been the karmic block that keeps ending, going between, like, I just heard a little bit of, I think it's Johnny Mathis, breakup to makeup, that's all we do. Right? Making up, breaking up. Hot action, burning down the house. It's like kind of lifting the stress, and now it sucks again. So there's been this kind of this karmic situation where people just keep doing the same thing over and over again, of going from this jacked up bliss to the complete opposite of just utter destruction. Now, the universe is like, okay, enough of this crap. If you are willing to grow, moon cycle, judgment, and move into a new chapter of your life with completion here, 10, and the wheel as well, movement, fire. It's like we will help you resolve the karma by giving some downloads to who you're dealing with so they'll be able to come out of it too. It's like everyone's getting a wake-up call. You might not get your way, but you'll get closure. Right? You can't have a discussion if someone refuses to speak, and that's what the cooperation is. Alright, so we'll go Aries. Fire sign ruled by Mars. Aries is in Mars right now. Checking in with that ego on the home front energy. Seven of Swords. In this deck it's called Futility. We have the moon in Aquarius. Knight of Swords. Dragonfly helmet there. Sorry, in focus. You can get Knight of Swords. In this deck, the knights are kings, so essentially King of Swords. Cancer and Leo energy. Air of Fire. And then we have 10 of Wands, Oppression. This is really similar to Taurus. 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. And I was going to mention the Sagittarius South Node, but I didn't want to. But all this air indicates that nodal thing too, because the nodes are Sagittarius and Gemini right now. Even though... No, King of Swords. Did I say that wrong? I did say that wrong. It's Heir of Air, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Okay, that makes more sense. So the moon in Aquarius, Capricorn and Aquarius with Heir of Air, and then Saturn in Sagittarius. Right, so we have Capricorn energy twice, we have Aquarius energy twice, and then we have the moon in Sagittarius. Now, I don't specifically see Libra or Gemini here, but the fact that Sagittarius is appearing indicates to me that there's a nodes. I see this sort of back and forth balance. The 10 in the major arcana is the wheel, which is Jupiter, which is also Sagittarius. And then we have the knight in this deck again is essentially the king. I don't know why they did it differently. This is... Okay, so I see potentially the star here, which is Aquarius again. I just heard there's something you're not telling me. A burden of anger. Okay, so we have oppression and futility together, but then we have a 1 or a 14 here, which is balanced, which would be double this, but we're ending something. We're trying to have a hope here. But King can also break down to 5, and that would give devil energy, which is Capricorn again. But then the 5 and 7 is 12, which is Hanged Man energy. And the moon is bringing in darkness. Let me see what the other card is. Oh, I just moved the camera. Sorry. Make sure I'm still focused because I just pushed it with my body here. So, no. Okay. 39, which breaks down to 12. Moving power through the heart chakra to the throat chakra. So we're trying to establish some heart-based communication instead of sorrow and anguish-based communication. Like there's no cups energy here. Well, the moon. The moon is the only water here, but it's like darkness. 3 would be Empress energy. 3 of Swords, heartbreak. 3 of Wands, potential future. 9 Swords would be nightmare. That would be half moon. What's the Knight of Swords energy? Knight of Swords. Taurus and Gemini. Okay. That's okay, I see. Mars in Aries is forcing this king to go out. It's forcing the king into this night energy. He thinks he's balanced because he can manipulate others, but he's not. He's actually oppressing them by imposing his will and not appealing to them from within. But he's still coming in with the full power of the king. It's like the King of Swords can be honest if he wants to, but he's choosing not to. And the universe is like, hold up. 14 or 1, so we have 11, 13, 8, justice or strength, death cycle, timing, justice, Emperor, and then the wheel again. So the issue is, it's like the gift of gab, but it's mostly a front. You've managed to be balanced while being secretly out of balance in the heart center, by giving the appearance of being honest and forthcoming and magnanimous. The Mars in Aries and the Sagittarius South Node is a particular time that's calling for masculine energy that wants to get to the Emperor point, to be aligned and out of being combative. You have to break down this oppression of self and others in order to gain maturity so that you can shift into a place that's fully balanced in all the chakras in order to open up these multiple kingdoms. Okay. Focus on heart chakra and throat chakra, which is evident here because we have a fair amount of green and blue. Effective communication. Like once more with feeling. Pisces. Water sign ruled by Neptune. Eight of Earth inverted. So on here, I like this card. This is why I got this deck. And young angel dude reading in the woods. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school. So inverted, I'm getting a little bit of Alice Cooper, school's out for summer. School's out forever, which is kind of relevant to what's going on right now, but so we have Eight of Earth inverted. Is that energy? So it's the sun in Virgo, but with inverted, that tells me it's nighttime. So we have moon. Moon in Virgo now. Oh, and there's the moon. As if I didn't already just say that. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So we have Archangel Haniel sitting in on that. Moon card is ruled by Pisces, although the moon itself is ruled by Cancer. We have Ten of Air. The end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. So Ten of Swords, we have that 10 completion number, low vibe energy of the wheel, something turning, right? Because we have daytime going to nighttime here. Ten of Air, Ten of Swords, the sun in Gemini. So I'm going to go Virgo to Gemini. What's the difference? Okay, Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury. So this tells me Mercury retrograde. This tells me Mercury direct, which just happened. But there's a moon in the middle. So there has to be the last major moon cycle. And I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was the full moon in Capricorn or whatever. But somewhere between Mercury going retrograde and Mercury going direct, there was some important moon event or eclipse or something. Probably an eclipse. Let me see what this card is. You have to remind yourself that you yourself are solely in control of manifesting measurable growth in your life. So we have number 103, but that's a 10 there, and then 3. Or 13, which is death cycle, which is Scorpio, which is the sister to this. We have Cancer and Pisces, and then we have the rest of the water here. And I also get this idea of like, I'm tired of doing all the work. And this is stick a fork in me, I'm done. But I almost get this idea, and this is 18 on the end as well. 8 and 10, that's the moon. 6 times 3 is 18, so what's 6? 6 swords sailing away from what doesn't serve you. 6 pentacles is like a midpoint balance of the material world manifest. It's also the masculine energy's open heart chakra. Let me see what the energies are for those. 6 swords, Mercury in Aquarius. Okay, so we're dealing with Mercury again. And Aquarius is the wet air sign, and we have air here as well. So it's like, talking about your emotions. or having a new perspective on your emotional content. Not so much woe is me, but like I understand why I feel that way now, or I'm not going to be working through my emotions forever and ever feeling like I'm stabbed in the back. I'm going to go deep and have this clearing. Getting more in touch with my intuition. The High Priestess. What was I looking for? Six of Pentacles. The Moon in Taurus. Okay, so that brings it back to the Empress energy with that 3 there. I do get a sense it's like this all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy essence. And I also feel like kind of self-sabotaging in a way that you let people around you tell you how you feel about what you're doing, and then you feel like nothing you do ever amounts to anything, and this vast wounding. And the secret is that you manifest growth in your life by adhering to your own feelings, to teach yourself about who you are and not let other people tell you what you're doing. It's like once you're steering your own ship, it goes a lot further than if somebody tells you go that way and then you go that way, and then once you get there they're like your princess is in another castle, and you're just kind of on side quests the whole time with your brain scrambled and your heart all knotted up. So that the issue there is kind of releasing, kind of like releasing an addiction to having other people tell you who you are and what you're doing. And that way you won't have to work as hard to get where you're going. Aquarius. We have air sign ruled by Uranus. The Ace of Chalices. 9 of Flames in reverse, which has a crease in it. Right. And the 6 of Orbs inverted. Okay. I just heard like bottoms up. Okay. Ace of Chalices. Ace of Cups. We have fall energy and water energy. Falling water. It's that Frank Lloyd Wright house, Falling Water. 9 of Flames. 9 of Wands. The Moon in Sagittarius, but it's inverted, so that tells me illumination and sunlight. Six of Orbs, which is 6 of Swords, is Mercury in Aquarius. Okay, so we have Aquarius, we have Mercury, we have a Sun-Moon dichotomy, and then we have fall. Okay, so what I'm getting is sort of like an equinox, right? Because the Moon and the Sun are in equal balance at the equinoxes, and this is a Moon card that's inverted, which is the Sun. And the same with this one, right? No, that's not. It's Mercury. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting a similar thing. I think it was Pisces reading that I got the idea that there was something going on with an eclipse during Mercury retrograde. And I don't know what it was. Because I said in the other one it was like something to do with the moon, and then there was moon and sun energy, which can be eclipse. So we have an eclipse in Mercury retrograde that's bringing in this balance of emotion. So we're not waiting around anymore for someone else to bring us out of some kind of bullshit. 9 and 6, 15 inverted, that's releasing bondage as well, right? We're not tied to anyone else for our own personal emotional contentment. We know our own truth in our hearts for ourselves. Let's see what this card says. It's actually inverted. Let me see. Oh, it says don't hate the player. Okay. So I got this in the pick-a-pile yesterday. So we have 11 here, which is universal timing. Can also be a twin flame number if that's applicable, because this could easily be for relationships, right? It's like I'm not it's like I'm not going to pine for my love for the rest of my life. I'm going to make sure that I am heart-centered and in whatever I'm doing for me. That's just for twin flames, though, or if you're reading this for watching this for a relationship. So you have don't hate the player. That's a very low vibrational energy. Page of Wands energy, like a one-night stand kind of energy. But it came out inverted, so we're not gonna be dicking around playing games anymore. Alright, so this is Aquarius. I have this 38 here, tells me Empress energy, it tells me strength, and it tells me justice. S 11 and 6 is 17, that's star energy, which is Aquarius. 11 and 9, 20, that's judgment, which is fire energy, which is Pluto, which is a transformation. And then I could get hanged man energy here, but it would come out inverted, which would be that waking up moment, that eureka, like I'm suddenly different. I'm not going to stay in the same energy I've been in. 6 of Orbs inverted is my sailing into Hades card. When it's upright, it's my sailing away from the bullshit. When it's inverted, it's like I'm going deeper. So I'm going deeper, and look what I found. The key to my happiness. Alright? So it's really about depth of emotion, strength in your heart center to know your personal truth. This balance of thought and perspective. Alright, so that's Aquarius. Capricorn. You have Earth sign ruled by Saturn. I feel like that's pretty good there. The sign's a little fuzzy, but the card should be alright. King of Swords inverted. I feel like these readings are almost all the same. Very similar themes. The Tower inverted. Page of Coins. Okay. So I have 1 or 14, which can break down to 5. I have 16, which breaks down to 7. And then I have 11 or 1. Okay, so I have a sort of a balanced triad here. 16, which breaks down to 1, so that's 7, and then 1 and 1. 7, 11. Let me read the energies here. Page of Coins. Page of Pentacles. Spring of Earth. Oh, Spring with Earth of Earth. Okay. Which tells me that there is this kind of background vibration of Venus and Aries and Aquarius because of the Fool. King of Swords inverted is the sort of dictator, do what I say, heads will roll kind of energy. King of Swords is Capricorn and Aquarius with heir of air. Alright? So specifically Capricorn, specifically Aquarius, potentially Aquarius. This could be Capricorn, or it could be Taurus, or it could be Virgo as well. That's like a low vibration of the ace. The Tower is fire. Martian energy, which is Aries, which I suggested here. Like an inverted king as a dictator to me always tells me that it's in distorted Martian energy as well, because a king is a fragment of the emperor, which is Aries. So these are the things at play. Mars is in Aries right now. It's causing this need to go inward for masculine energies. So this little bit of evanescence I'm going under. The Tower is not... The Tower isn't crumbling, it's not upright, but to me this is like an internal collapse. It's like, get rid of everything that's not you, right? Because we have earth, like the salt of the earth. I am growing up out of the earth, like a little shrub. And notice that the king goes from this masculine figure, and the page of coins in this deck in particular is feminine. I'm coming out of intense masculine energy, and I'm going to be working on my feminine energy, be it in inner feminine or be it your main energy. And let me see what the card is here. It's technically inverted, but let me see what it says. I'm heading in the right direction, number 815. So 8 is strength or justice. And because of these other elements here, it's probably justice. And then 15 is the devil, but we also have 14 total, which is that king number as well. 6 and 8. Okay. Seven, 5 is 12. Hangman. 12, 11. It's a countdown. A bunch of these readings are countdowns. It's like the universe is timing you, and you need to resolve aspects of you that are distorted. This sort of like interior collapse. And again, I get this sort of rising from your own ashes energy that's coming out in some of these other readings. There's really strong energy to deal with the North and South nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius, as well as that Mars in Aries. A couple of the other readings are dealing with eclipses that happen during Mercury retrograde. Capricorn is kind of in their own zone here, dealing with kind of a conflict between their thoughts and passions. And the easiest way to get out of this distorted behavior is to focus on what you're trying to do in the real world. Just, you know what? I'm going to stop overthinking. I'm going to stop being contrary to my core. I just want a steady foundation in what I'm doing with my life. And the message is if you do this, you will be heading in the right direction. 14. 14 is temperance, which is balance. Temperance is also like a getting a hand from the healing angel. Get a little bit of Raphael on your side. Alright, so we're going to Sagittarius. Oh, it's taking me so long to get these cards over here. So we have fire element, ruled by Jupiter. So the Ace of Wands inverted. Let me just hold it upright for a second. So that's coming out inverted. And then we have Eight of Wands, which in this deck is swiftness. Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury rules Gemini, so this is talking about the north and the south nodes. We have a cube octahedron here, vector equilibrium. Ace of Wands out of alignment with your higher inner self, essentially. Summer and fire energy, so it's sort of like I'm getting like dry ice. And then we have Five of Swords, defeat, which is in a very devil pentagonal configuration here. So we have Venus in Aquarius. Is that what that says? Yeah, Venus in Aquarius. Okay. So notice we have Mercury and Venus, which are both of the signs that have two both of them are planets that rule two signs. So we have Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Gemini at play. But then also Sagittarius, which is native to the fire itself, even though this could be any fire sign. The Ace of Wands is like a singular thing. It's very much like this arrow, and here we have these definite vectors as well. And it's looking very similar to this, with all the swords going in the same direction. I want to see what this card says over here. Hype led to the belief that the miracle had already arrived, number 7. So we have 6 and then 1. So notice, look at this. I have 5, 6, and then 5 and then 6 total, or 5 and then 6 and then 7 and then 8. So it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, trying to get into a rhythm. Alright, let's here again. Hype led to the belief that the miracle had already arrived. So you thought you had the Ace of Wands, but what you felt was defeat. The agony of defeat. 5 of Swords is mind games. Head games, mind fuck. Lies. Lies! It's the last man standing. It's the win at any cost. This is the hype. And notice if we had 6, we would have the Lovers, which would be like an equilibrium. But I see also like 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's 2 1s available too, which is 11, which is either the twin flame number or universal timing. 8 could be strength. It could also, especially in a fire suit, even though strength is Leo. But we could also have justice, which is Libra, which is one of those Venus signs. And there's a rainbow here as well. It's like trying to figure out which direction you need to go in. There's 8 directions here. There's 5 here. There's one that's messed up here. It's like, which way are you gonna go? I'm still getting like somewhere over the rainbow, which is my 4 of Wands in my music deck. What I think is going on with Sagittarius energy is that there's this... I'm getting a little bit of Cupid's arrow here. It doesn't have to be a love situation, but it's looking very twin flamey to me. Like, you thought you had everything in the bag, but it's like you're being tested. But here, this is rapid movement and communication. It says swiftness. It's like run like the wind. You're able to figure out where you need to go. And you have this ability to move. So even though it starts out looking really bad, it's like stay linked up to the balance within yourself in order to keep moving forward, right? It's like shift your weight on your horse to stay in the saddle. Because you have to like turn around and go back the other way because you went the wrong direction. You had to keep coming back into the maze to the like you went here, it was wrong, now you're going to come back. So every time you turn around and go back to center, it's like you have to keep your balance. Right? So it's like I get this idea of you've been through some shit and you're trying really hard to figure out the right way to go, what to say, who to say it to, when to say it to, what to do. But if you stay in your balance, you'll have the ability to check out these other paths to make sure that when you get what you're looking for, there isn't any hype. Because you've looked at all the other perspectives. Alright, so let's put that. That seems pretty good there. Okay, we're gonna do Scorpio next. Alright, Scorpio, we have water sign ruled by Pluto, which is currently in retrograde. Did I have my hand in the way? Probably. 3 of Wands, 3 of Fire inverted. Let me just hold it upright so you can see the girl sitting next to the dragon. This came out, I think, twice already, but it was upright. The star, Archangel Jophiel, or Iophiel if you pronounce it correctly. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So that's Judgment total, or 14 if I subtract. The Magician, number 1, which I feel like that shouldn't be inverted. The Magician, Archangel Raphael. You are ready, you have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So I'm going to put this in the challenge position. The Moon, the World, 4 of Wands, the Emperor. Judgment. Okay. This is technically coming in inverted. Obsessed with your stories like social media or some kind of manipulation. So we have number 432, which is that like prime resonance in hertz. I have 4 and 3, that's 7. 2 more gives it 9. I also have a 5 here, or a 6. So 4, 5, 3, 4. It's like 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like a rapid increase. But this came in inverted, so it's like I'm so done with your bullshit. And a bunch of these I'm getting a countdown as well, but sometimes it's a ramping up. And then here's the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it skips to like 12 and 13. Okay. What does that mean, though? Okay, so I see this 3 of fire. It's like I am not bound to your story of what the future is because I'm not listening to your crap anymore. I have hope for the future, even, but I know that this is not the future. You have no sway over me anymore. Like, you have no authority here. Because I see 18, all your secrets. Something very Scorpionic as well. This is really short for Scorpio, but essentially all this is rapidly figuring out what's not true about what someone else has been putting forth. 3 of Wands energy, the sun in Aries. So this inverted is that moon energy that I saw here as well. This sort of, like, I'm not even going to fight you over this. This is, I know this is fake. Positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. It says you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. As if there's like no antecedent to that pronoun. But essentially it's like, I know the truth. I am closing the book on whatever this garbage is. And the world is now mine because I know what is and what isn't. You know, it's like the distinct ability to sniff out fake news from real stuff. Or just knowing that someone's happy posts and their narrative for public isn't really what's going on in their life, and you're not reading into it anymore. You're like, yeah, I'm all set with that. Peace out. Next we have Libra. Air energy, air sign, ruled by Venus. 7 of Chalices, this eternal spiral staircase here. 7 of Cups. 5 of Flames inverted. Very sunny. 12 here already, that's Hangman energy. And then we have the 9 of Orbs. So nightmares. 9 and 5, that's 14, so we're trying to deal with some kind of a balance. 9 and 7, 16, the Tower, and then the Hanged Man as well. 9 of Orbs, 9 of Swords, Mercury, no, not Mercury. Mars in Gemini, 5 of Flames, 5 of Wands, Saturn in Leo. Wait a minute, is that... Where was I? 9 of Swords. Saturn, Leo. So with Aries and Leo, Gemini, and Capricorn. And then the 7 of Chalices is Venus in Scorpio. Alright, that's not really giving me much. Let me look at the card here. This is technically coming in inverted. Let's see what it says. So we have number 25, which breaks down to 7. 7. 5. And then 7. Okay, so we have in disguise, hiding from persecution, hermit mode, and I'm invisible. And that's inverted. So the nightmare is being forced out of hiding, really. It's like, I don't want to be exposed. I want to keep up this front and live multiple lives. 5 of Flames is like forced maturity. Saturn and Leo. Leo is the sun, so we're being forced into this moon phase. This is half moon. 7-7, that's being forced into balance. Temperance. 7, 5, 12, 7, yeah, I did that already. 2, 9 is 11, 2 and 5 is 7, 9, 14, yeah. Okay. So what are the energies at play? Capricorns, we have Saturn in retrograde in Capricorn. Leo is the Sun. Sun is in Cancer right now, which has to do with emotive. 9 of Swords, Gemini, and Mars. Okay, so the Martian energy has to do with Aries being in Mars right now. It's forcing people to deal with essentially the ego. And here we have an ego of... I mean, it's an ego of lack that hides on deception, basically. It's like smoke bomb. It's like, I'm not vulnerable, I'm fancy. Look at my Instagram life. I'm a star. But the reality is sort of like depression and fear. And this, in the upright, would be conflict and fighting and aggression and always ready to, you know, be the first to attack. But it's coming in inverted. We're being forced to try to balance. It's just like, I'm afraid somebody's going to hate me if they find out how I really am, if I am not just out there, you know, talking shit about people and making people wish they had a life like mine. I don't think that's for everybody, but I think there's some aspect of this for everyone. There's this idea of a necessity for maturing, for breaking down false fronts, for putting down distractions, and to really work on what fears are holding you back. You know, breaking down the way that you hide from the world so that you have more access to it. Okay. Virgo. Earth sign. Ruled by Mercury. Four of Coins. Four of Pentacles. Sun in Capricorn. Fellow Earth sign. 10 of Coins. Mercury in Virgo. And the 6 of Wands inverted. Jupiter in Leo. Oh, this is the Sun in Capricorn. This is the Sun energy. Sagittarius and Sun energy here. Notice we have a completion. This is not... This is like hoarding. This is like loss. Right? I'm holding on so tightly, I'm losing what is really important to me. Sun inverted is moon energy. So there's sort of like being eclipsed by your own greed, kind of. So we have 10 here, completion, but we have another 10 here, ending up with this bountiful stuff. Mercury in Virgo. Virgo's ruled by Mercury. And so it's like this is you. This is not you. Or this isn't who you really are. Let me read what the card is over here. This one's technically coming in inverted. Entering the darkness with elegance, 141. Okay, so we have this sort of triptych situation here. Like an absolute value. Like whatever is abundant to you has like absolute value. It doesn't just have financial value. It's not just stuff that brings you accolades. It's like, oh, you have a fancy car. Wow, you must be awesome. It's stuff that has lasting value. Okay, so this is like, I don't want to hit the moon cycle. I refuse. I just want to hold on to what I've got kind of energy. So this is kind of mixed messages. Okay, I see it. 10 breaking down to 1, 4, and then 10 breaking down to 1 again. Okay, so that what I'm getting is that like Virgo isn't going to get their due until they're aligned with themselves. You're being forced to consider what has value for you in your life. And if you don't go willingly into the night, you might end up losing a little bit of face in order to humble you enough so that when you get this, you know that it's true, that it's like your abundance will be in alignment with yourself if you just go through this phase of detaching from the shiny things, right? Get Leo in a second. Oh my god, I can't with my stacks. Alright, so we're Leo. Fire sign. Ace of Swords inverted. The Wheel of Fortune. Look at that 10. 10. 1 breaking down to 10, break down to 1, and then go 10 again. And then the moon. Wow. Major shiz going on here. Like real extreme resonance. This is Jupiter energy, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Ace of Swords is winter and air energy, but it's inverted, which puts it into summer, which would be give it back into Leo and fire. With the moon here, which rules Cancer, but the moon card is actually Pisces. The sun and the moon and the stars. This is giving me I'm getting this idea of like the ecliptic and the precessional cycle, the great wheel. This is like Hamlet's Mill kind of stuff. Lying is more exclusive of 3D than 5D, with 677 as the number. Okay. So Ace of Swords inverted, that's lying. This celestial references with precession and the Great Wheel has to do with time, but it also has to do more with the astral plane, with the 5D. The sun, well, the sun, Leo, relates to the core. But we're looking at a darker aspect. We're looking at the lies. What is the distortion? We're looking at the dark side. Right? The dark side of the moon, kind of. We're turning the wheel so that we can look at something from the other side and see what's going on. Right? This is like lies detected. It's like, don't think I don't know what you're doing. So if 7 and 7 would be 4. 7 and 7 would be 14, that's balance. And 6 is 20, which is judgment, which is fire, but also Pluto, which is that death energy, which is, I relate to the moon. Not just because Scorpio and the moon and Pisces are all sisters. There's also 13 here, which is death as well. 11, 19, oh, 19 is the sun, okay. Which breaks down to 10, and then 10 is 20. Judgment. Okay. It's kind of, it's like, it's a little bit like passing judgment on someone that you know has been lying, but it's also this idea of getting closure on a situation because you realize that things that are lies are really only applicable in the 3D. In the higher realms, there is no lies. There you have this incredible psychic ability to illuminate the world around you with your own fire. It's like generating, like the wheel can also be the sun. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning, which I think is a reference to the precessional cycle, but it's also, I mean, the sun is a disc and it's wheel-shaped and it turns. It's like, what are you resonating with? It's weird because this is like really profound, but it's also obscure. It's kind of like Leo is hitting on some great cosmic truth that sort of blows open everything that was bothering them in their everyday life. And I think it might be different for different people. But it's kind of like Leo stumbled on a secret. And it's kind of a big deal. Alright. So, that was the bi-weekly astrology check-in. Using my 13-seat clock calendar reading as the basis for that. There's a separate reading that you can purchase. I have the... Let me bring this up so I don't have to reach for it as much. There we go. I have a complete list of readings and how much they cost in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. The infomercial video is like a guide and tutorial to what I have and where to find it. So I've got the tarot readings, the prices. I've got a link to my catalog, which has made-to-order items, chapbook packs, some art a la carte, which is drawings right now. And I'll change it out when some of that stuff sells and make a new addition to the catalog. Like, this is one of the made-to-order items, but you can also get a template for this if you want to burn your own hands. The I do have merch and prints available, Cafe Press and Deviant Art. I've got a poetry book. I've got 2 coloring books. Those are on Amazon. That one I just showed is Kindle as well. I've got some other stuff, but all of those links are in the description box of that infomercial video. And also, if you just want to email me, thecatcamebackatcamp, one word, lowercase, @gmail.com. I can get you that same information there. You can ask me any questions. If you want to donate to my channel, that would be super awesome, and I will love you forever. So that's, you know, energy exchange, whatever you want to call it. If you're feeling compelled, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Those are both CATtheMinion as well. Check out my playlists to see the different kinds of readings I'm doing. And check out my discussion tab as well. You can see little updates there. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.